Hey viewers, please don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel. Let's go.
Greetings and welcome to our channel, where we showcase the most captivating and intriguing stories of relationships and infidelity. Today's lineup features some of the wildest and most unbelievable tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Get comfortable and let us transport you into the world of love, deceit, and infidelity as the stories unfold. Story 1. Lost 8 valuable years with a cheater. Been married 26 years, the last 10 of which have not been good. We got along well and I really considered my wife my best friend, but the intimacy had drastically faded. She attributed it to menopause but was resistant to openly communicate about our troubles, and I foolishly stuck around for a number of reasons: finances, kids, etc. But mostly because I really thought we could get that spark back if we just put some work into it. About 9 weeks ago, she signed us up for couples counseling and we both agreed in the session that we wanted to try to save our marriage. I left the session feeling optimistic. The very next day, I found out that she has been in love with someone else and has been having an affair with him for the past 8 years. I found anniversary cards they had sent to each other. The shock was just overwhelming. I had suspicions about whether she had ever been unfaithful to me, but no way was I expecting this. Suddenly, the lack of intimacy, the coldness, the constant pulling away, etc. all made total sense. She's now moved out and we've both retained lawyers. I suspect the divorce will be ugly, but hoping we can do it through mediation and not have it drag on. My kids are older, one a senior in high school and one has just graduated college and moved back home, and we are doing okay. They were devastated by the news and I immediately got them good therapists. They haven't seen her since she left, but the anger they have towards her is lifting and I assume they will eventually have relationships with her. That's fine. My kids and I are incredibly close and I'm glad I can hold my head up high for them in all of this. My wife will never be able to do that and has to live knowing that any respect they had for her before is gone. For me, I have good days and bad days. The first few weeks were just awful. The movies in my head of the two of them together were relentless and I found it hard to eat, sleep or work. That's mostly faded at this point. I tortured myself looking at old photos of the family and us together for a while, and it was hard looking at happy events such as birthdays, kids' graduations, vacations, etc. And realize she had been with him throughout all of those. I just don't know how she was able to do that. But I initially looked at those photos and saw the person I thought she was, and now I see in them the person she is. They are completely different photos now and I feel no need to look at them anymore. Here's what bothers me most right now. I'm optimistic about moving forward and having this person out of my life, but I'm just so bitter and angry about all this time that I lost. Yes, I should have left. I thought about it many times over the years and just didn't do it. I'm 56 now and feel that I perhaps could have been happy with someone else by now if she'd just ended the marriage when the affair started. Those were important years for me age-wise and they are just gone. I have no choice but to accept it and learn to live with it, but man, it's hard. Update. So it's hard to believe 20 months have passed. No, I am not yet divorced. I stupidly let things coast for a while, attempting to get my ex to agree to mediation, racking up legal costs, etc. Before finally officially filing about 6 months ago. We're now in mediation and although it's not exactly going well, I hope we'll have an agreement soon. I really need this divorce to be done and dusted. As for how I am, I'm happy. Or, perhaps I should say happier, as I still have my ups and downs. But certainly happier than I was when I was married. As mentioned in my original post, I did get into therapy soon after D-Day and only recently decided to stop seeing my therapist. It was helpful and I spent a good amount of time trying to figure out why I stayed so long in such an unhappy marriage. At the same time, I saw friends, leaned on family, exercised regularly, got my band going, and did my best to find ways to make myself happy. I'm not completely done with therapy. I realize I have more work to do and will be finding another one soon. I don't think about my ex very much, but the trauma of it all still rears its head here and there. There is a garden where I work and a bench that I used to sit on during lunch when it was nice outside. The day after D-Day I sat on that bench talking to my ex on the phone, asking how she could do what she did. I pass that bench every day and thought to myself today that I really hate that bench now. So yeah, I've still got some work to do. I began dating way too early. I'm almost embarrassed to write it. 3 months. But I was always honest about my status and have to say, I went on lots of great dates, always had interesting conversations, had a few relationships here and there and made a few new friends as well. I've since taken a break from dating though, as I really just want to get this divorce done. And I enjoy the freedom of being on my own and not having to answer to anyone except myself. There's a point that I'm sure a lot of us in this situation feel. That point when you begin to feel like the person you used to be before you became unhappy and let it drag you down and change you. Hopefully you like that person and are glad to welcome them back. I am. I got a lot of support from this board for months after D-Day, and then all of a sudden, I had to stop visiting it. I felt it wasn't healthy to be consumed by so many triggering stories of cheating. So I unsubscribed for quite a while, and eventually when I felt better about things, I revisited. And it saddened me again, not so much for my own situation this time, but reading the stories of those just at the beginning of this journey, when the pain is still so raw that the whole world seems to be spinning, just broke my heart. I wish I had some profound words of wisdom to offer everyone in that place right now, but it's been said many times before. It gets better with time. You'll get through it, hopefully wiser and stronger, and less likely to let others cross boundaries that you're hopefully setting for yourself. So here I am, 57 and single. I feel older than so many on here and shake my head a bit when I read someone wondering about future prospects at age 35 or 40. But it's fine. My life feels open to possibility like it hasn't in a long time, and I will keep on keeping on and see what happens. Take care all. Oh my man. Very sorry to hear. Yes, it's totally devastating that she could be living such a sinister double life for 8 years. I can relate to the pain of infidelity, but nothing like this. Just thinking all the holidays, B-days, Valentines, were all fake. I do not believe there is reconciliation possible with such immense level of deceit. I don't believe any therapy or help can turn around her personality, and why would you even wait to find out if it worked? Don't regret anything. You cannot regret a decision which you made upon being totally deceived and misinformed by someone you trusted. This was not your fault, know that. Story 2. My wife cheated. We have been married nearly 4 years and together for nearly 8. We have a 1-year-old daughter, together. Our relationship was becoming distant and my wife stopped sharing things with me and would never initiate physical contact. I think I first noticed this about 10 to 12 months ago. I thought it was down to stress and she has a tough time with the baby, postnatal depression and medication. I did talk to her and raised my concerns, and she said she would work on our communication. It got fractionally better for a while and got worse again. At this point I felt I didn't have anyone to go to other than my wife, and I didn't discuss it with anyone else at all. I brought it up again, however this time it was in more of an argument and it ended the same as before. I had noticed that my wife was becoming more absent and detached from the relationship, and I asked her if she still wanted to be in it, and she said she loved me and did want to remain. In our discussions and arguments she stonewalled me. This had been the case for a while. In the past month or so I have had niggling feelings that something might have been going on. This was mainly based on my intuition rather than anything else. I was considering unlocking her phone, following her, or putting a tracker on her car, but I decided not to, as it was an invasion of her privacy and essentially wrong. Then I saw a message on my wife's phone asking if she was free for a call. It was from her male best friend. I was with her the rest of the evening and she didn't make any calls. I then realized that this was probably a regular occurrence and that she was hiding it from me. I then decided to take action. I unlocked her phone and could see that there were lots of messages from this guy. There were also regular phone calls for weeks that I had no knowledge of. I didn't have time to read them really, but I knew something was up. I then took her phone and copied the messages and sent to myself so I could check them in detail. I felt really guilty with this, and it took me a few attempts before I could actually go through with it, as I felt like it was wrong. The messages were clearly very flirty and it was a clear emotional affair, but there were parts which were on Snapchat and also parts which had clearly been deleted. With the information I had, I decided to confront my wife. She admitted it was inappropriate but said it was just good friends and that there was no romance. I asked her if it was anything more, if there were any photo exchanges or physical encounters. I told her to look up what an emotional affair was and she conceded that it was inappropriate. I asked her again if there was anything more and she said no. She didn't know that I had seen her messages on her phone. I asked if I could look and she said if I wanted to, but there might be hurtful things about me on there, so we left it at that, and I said if she wants it to work she has, so be honest and tell me if there is anything else. I left it a couple of days and spoke to her. She said that she had contacted the guy and said they couldn't talk anymore and to have no contact for a while. I asked her why she didn't speak to me about this first and she said because she thought I needed space. I said, do you not think I might have wanted to be involved in that and that I might not want her to speak to him ever? She said she thought I might say that. I then reiterated how if there is any chance of reconciliation I needed her to be honest, and she said she was. I then said that I wanted to look at her phone. I went through and showed her messages and grilled her. She admitted to sending suggestive photos on Snapchat but said she sent nothing more explicit and that there had been no physical sexual contact. I then showed her more messages and grilled her more and she admitted to having sex with this man. She said it was just once. I asked her to be honest and she said she was. I then showed her more messages on her own phone and she admitted to sending nudes and to masturbating on Snapchat with him. She still said she only met him for sex once. After some more interrogation she admitted to a second time and that they had planned to another time but he got too drunk. The most recent time they had sex was very recently and my wife assured me that she had used a condom. However, before this we also found out that we were pregnant. I say we, the condition date according to the pregnancy test puts the conception near to the date she had sex with this guy. I obviously have found this very difficult and so had she. It's probably worse for her at the moment. I'm currently handling it quite well considering. I am not sure what the future holds and I have no idea how to manage it. We are going to speak with a professional and I have had thoughts about getting a paternity test for my existing daughter who I love with all my heart, and I hate myself for even considering taking this action. I also have considered a prenatal paternity test, although whatever the result I would still intend to support my wife as I don't want any risk or negative effect to come to my daughter. This is making me feel very anxious at potentially wasting a year or so of my life. I want to be open to repair and build a new relationship with my wife, but I also know I deserve better. I know a marriage is about making the other person the best they can, and I do try to do this and still want my wife to thrive and heal whatever we do, and despite what had happened I do still love her. The main reason I would like to see if it can work is for my daughter, but I understand that even if we both genuinely try, it might not. Update. I have had the prenatal paternity test back and the unborn child is mine. Part of me was hoping the child wasn't mine so I could wash my hands of the situation in WS, but part of me is still open to R. WS, MH wasn't very good, even though from get account she was sure it was mine. Now she had it confirmed. She seems like she has a weight off her shoulders and she is acting less sorry for herself and more driven to R. I however feel more empty and I have been wanting to say to her and point out the many ways in which she has betrayed me, our daughter and herself, and really rub her face in it, but I haven't. I think I will be able to keep this from bubbling over and being counterproductive, although I also want to make her feel the pain she deserves to feel. I guess I just wait now and see how this shitstorm unfolds. I am undergoing IC, which had been good so far. WS has been doing IC and says her counselor isn't good. She's arranged for a new one. I know if she says the same then it might be the end, as she's clearly not open to change herself, so this is the current state of play. Hey dude. First she's lying as you know and is still lying. She's trickle-truthing you to get you to leave her alone about it. Assume the worst, because it's closer to the truth most times. They being she's been banging this guy for months if not years and the kid might not be yours. Get a paternity test. To prove if it's your child or not, but to also show her that you believe more is going on than she is saying. Do not stay for a child, in the long run it's bad for their mental health. Get with a lawyer and have everything drawn up including a post-nuptial agreement to protect you for when she cheats again. After 15 years of hard work to build a life, she cheated. How to recover? I met my GF at 20. I had an extremely hard life and since meeting her I worked flat out to build a life for us both. I went from 12-hour shifts in a call center to more than the average salary with zero qualifications. My life before meeting her was very bad and basically poverty. Around 5 years ago I went to counseling to deal with issues I had from this life and even told her it was, so I could be a better father. We spoke about a family often. As soon as I left counseling I witnessed a car crash and my phone was broke. I had to phone the police and when I asked for her phone I knew something was up. So I checked the texts and sure enough, she was cheating. Confronted her. She admitted it and turns out it was a married father she met online. Sick. Stupidly, I believed it was all my fault and stayed. I just got another job. The one I've been chasing for around 5 years coincidentally. She decided to go out till 5 a.m. one night. I checked phone again and yep, she's cheating again. I confronted her once more and she again admitted it but told me that our relationship is over. She apparently feels like a prisoner. Not sure how this is reality as she can do anything she wants and never have I tried to control her. The guy is a 30-plus-year-old fast food worker who knew I existed. No disrespect meant to fast food workers but here I am, dedicating my whole life to supporting her and our future family and she throws it all away for that. His texts are calling her his life, yet she says it only went on for 2 weeks. How do you recover from something so hurtful? It's like I can't force myself not to love her or give up on our family, even though she told me it's over. Time to move on. The only ones that recover are when the cheater breaks down from the moment caught and follow through on anything you want or need to heal. That didn't happen here. You will never again be able to have her out of your sight and not wonder if she's cheating. She did you a favor. The only thing to do at this point is try to play amicably hurt to guilt her into the best visitation custody support arrangement you can get. You have come so far and overcome so much in life. You deserve to have the relationship you desire and deserve. But you have to work for it. Focus on you, your healing and growth. Break up with her and remain civil. No one who cheats on their partner cares about their partner's feelings. They are incredibly selfish and may have a secret addiction. There are plenty of eligible people who won't do that. Fix yourself and heal and then go find one. Best of luck. That concludes today's fascinating tales. We hope you were enthralled by our perspective on relationships and infidelity. Your feedback is important to us, so please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all of our viewers for tuning in and being a part of our journey. Your unwavering support means everything to us and we can't wait to bring you more captivating stories in the future. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes. Farewell for now. See you tomorrow.